Hi everyone, Sarah here. I have a tutorial to share with you. Really it's kind of like a process video. We are having a challenge over on Freeze Buddies for the month of February. It is to make a shaker card or a card with a fancy sort of fold to it, just in case there's some people that don't want to give the shaker cards a try. But I am just going to do this tutorial for shaker cards just to show you guys that you don't need to go out and buy anything. You can use any products that you have in your room. I'm sure you guys have lots of stuff that you could use to make your shaker cards. So here's just a few things that I have used. I actually bought this a long time ago. This is Stampin' Up! Shaker Frames. I don't even know how old it is anymore, and I don't even know if they still have it. I haven't bought Stampin' Up! In a very, very long time. So basically they are just foam shapes, and they're all different size circles to make shaker cards. So I use this, and then I have my circle dies that I just find the right size I need to go with it, and that makes my little frame for my shaker cards. You don't need to go out and buy these though, because you can do it with foam tape. You can do it with foam squares. You don't even need foam tape. Anything that you can make a frame. So this is my wide foam tape that I use, and then I also have the thinner stuff. So if you have the thinner stuff, all you need to do is double it up. And a really easy way to double it up, just pull off the amount that you need and then fold it over and flip it down, and that will give you your double thickness and still sticky on both sides. So that's the easiest way I find to do it. If you are using foam squares, sorry, I forgot to grab some. I don't have any right here right now, but basically all you want to do when you're making your frame is you're going to take each of your squares and line them up so that you have no gaps and no holes when you're making your frame. Okay? For the actual clear part of it, I use these Write-On Transparencies, and I bought these at Staples years ago. I still have a ton. It's a pack of 100, and it is kind of pricey to go out and buy these, but you don't need to buy these. You can use your packaging. So these are the packaging from my office kitties. And it is clear packaging, so you can use that, run it through your die machine, or just cut it in squares with your scissors. You can use that. If you have any old page protectors, say you have a page protector that got ripped on the little binding or anything, just cut it out. The other thing you can use is a lot of stamps. You can use actually this packaging from your stamps. If you don't keep your stamps in that, you can use this. It's a little bit thinner, but it still works. So you know how stamps come with extra sheets? If you don't keep your sheets on there, you can use these. Anything that is clear, you just go for it. Reuse, recycle. Okay, I'm going to get this ugly box out of the way. I'm going to show you a couple cards that I already have finished. These are just different kind of techniques of shaker cards. This one is using an MFT die, my favorite thing. So the die cuts out the L, the heart, the V, and the E. So you can see that they are embedded. So basically what I did was Melissa had sent me the cutouts, and then she also sent me the pieces that came out. So on this one I flipped it upside down, stuck the LVE in there, and put tape on it to tape them so that they stay flush. And then for the heart, I just cut out a piece of page protector and glued it on. And then I actually used, this is why this one is undone, I used these and cut them so that I could shape it around the heart. Because you could still do a circle, except the circle wasn't big enough to go around the whole heart for me. So basically you just need to make sure that your foam tape is going around your shape. So this one I positioned it so that the patterned paper behind had that word smitten on it. And then I stamped this over top, and I actually put some glitter on it. I used those pens that Jamie had sent me in my prize package. Thank you, Jamie. These At You Spicas. They are very, very sparkly. So I used those to sparkle up the U, and then colored in the CC Designs, I think it's Tea Break is the name of the image. and then you just fill your shaker card with whatever you want to put in it. So this one, I have the little tiny micro beads. So I have had these in my stash forever. I was lucky enough to find these once in the States on clearance. They were clearing all of them out, so I think I paid like $1 or $2 for each jar. And I have like a whole ton of different colors. And I totally forgot about this. They're perfect for shaker cards. So that has some pink beads in it. And then I also put in the little X and O's that Melissa sent me. They're also an MFT die. And I put in some sequin hearts. And the sequin hearts are these ones here. They're from Michaels in the Valentine Kids section. Okay, so that's the first card. The second one, I did a shape. So I did a circle. I used, for the balloons, I used these balloons here. This is Mama Elephant. What's the name of this one? Good Times. Ooh, sorry. So I stamped the balloons. I did this dotted one here in pink, and then I did a solid one, and then I did one in black. And then the black one is the one that I cut out, and I used my Spellbinder, well, it's not Spellbinders. Sorry, I don't know these brands. This is from my local scrapbook store, and it's kind of like a no-name brand where you can get a ton of dies for a good price. So I used those. Oh, there it is. Nellie's Multi-Frames. They're cool. So I used that to cut out the circle, and then I did use a black Sharpie marker to color the white that was coming out from the inside. I colored it black so that you didn't see that. And then this one I just put the two different colors of micro beads. This one is kunzite and this one is onyx. So I just mixed the two together. I did shade this balloon with my Copic markers. And then I cut little slits. It's hard to see in there, but I cut little slits for the balloons and put some twine and brought it all the way down to the bunny and put little slits in its hands. And this one is from Up and Away. I love this stamp set. And the saying is also from here too. And then the word is from Little Yellow Bicycle. These are from Hobby Lobby. I love these dies. And then I just stamped the sentiment and embossed it on vellum and added in some of the sequins and the heart sequins. And then these are homemade perler bead enamel dots. So that is that card. It's nice and dimensional and it has a shaker. Super cute. Okay, so for the one that I'm working on today, I have put together some of it already. Just because it's a little easier to do it that way. I already picked out kind of what I'm doing. These pattern papers are from an old Kane Company 12x12 Valentine set, and I've just used the same sheet. It's double-sided, so that's one side and that's the other. I have, this is my card. I have a mat to go on the card. And then this is my frame that I made. I already glued it because I like to use, I use this liquid glass. What's it called? It's the same as Glossy Accents. I'm losing my mind today. So I like to use this to glue down the acetate just because it holds it much better. I find if you use some other glues, it may pop off. I don't know if it's maybe just the temperature and stuff like that and the moisture here, but that works so much better. So I have first cut out the piece of paper to go on my card, and then I picked the size of Spellbinders to put and make a frame. So I chose this one. This is the Labels 4, and then I just picked the size that I thought worked best to turn it into a frame. I cut it out. I cut my acetate sheet just slightly smaller than the matte paper, so you can see it almost goes to the end. It doesn't have to. Basically, you just need to be able to have space to glue it down to the paper. Okay, so then once I have that frame, you need to get your foam tape. I forgot forgot to grab my scissors. Totally unorganized this morning. Okay, so I'm using my thick foam tape because this one I'm going to put some seed beads in. So I want to make sure that I have a good thickness for everything to move around. Sorry, I should have cut this before, guys. Maybe I'll speed this part up if I can. La 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 la. It's just slightly thicker than what I would like it to be. I don't want it coming off the paper here, so basically you just need to make a frame around your shape. I'll put this short one here, and when you're putting pieces together, it's gonna be awkward this way. You want to make sure that you're butting them up right close, so that there's no space for any beads or sequins to pop out of there. Okay. And I'm gonna go like this. You can bend it around if you need to. That's why I use the circle one for the heart, because it bends a little bit better. It's not as thick, it's more of a foamy texture to it. Okay, so this is where you need to really make sure that you have no space in between there, because you could have little tiny beads fall through and you don't want to. See how you can curve it a little bit. If you're using squares, it makes it a little bit easier, because as long as just your edges are sticking together, then you're okay. It's gonna look funky. Cutting some foam tape. Okay, so this one I'm just going to push up in there. Okay, so you can see we have a frame. There are no little edges, no spots for anything to fall out. So then I'm going to pull out my goodies to go inside. So I have this box. I was going to decorate it, but I have not got around to it. So it's just colored and that's it. So here are all my goodies that I have for shaker cards. The heart sequins that I showed you, these are from Michaels. I did find some red seed beads in my stash. This Craft Medley brand is from our dollar store here. And then these ones are the ones that Melissa sent me. Thank you, Melissa. There's hearts, lips, open hearts, and X's and O's. And then these ones, actually these ones came with the heart-shaped. They're open hearts. And then there was these ones that actually say love and different sizes of hearts. Those are the paper cutouts Melissa sent me. And then in here I have all my different sequins. So when I open them up, I put them in these little baggies. And I just keep all the colors separated. And then these are the homemade enamel dots. I didn't do a very good job of them, but I kept them anyways. So, I want some red sequins. And this is the paper that's going to be peeking out. So you want to decide what you're going to put in there that you're going to see. It's too bright. I might have to buy more sequins. No. Peachy. looking for the right color of pink, but I do not see it in there. I don't think I have the right color of pink. Everything is kind of like a peachy. Okay, so I'm going to put that off to the side. I'm going to stick with this. I want to put some seed beads in. And I wanted pink. No. Okay, this is the image that I'm putting on front, so maybe I will go back to these. Okay, I'm gonna put these ones in there. All right, so you want to flip your image upside down. This is the hard part for me, is that I would rather have the foam tape on this side and put the frame down on top so you can see where you're going, but that is really, really difficult. So we're gonna do it this way. Ooh, some of those are chopped up. Dollar store sequins, what can I say? Some red. Some of them are stuck together, so I want to make sure they come apart first. Okay, then for the seed beads, you want to make sure you're not filling it up too much. This one I actually don't mind because my image is going to sit on top, so I don't have to worry about not being able to see it. But sometimes if you put too much in, it fills up and they don't move around. So you want to make sure that they can move around. I'm going to add in some of these X's and O's. Okay, so once you have all your stuff in there, then you want to carefully take off the sticky tape. You don't want it to go flying and everything to go everywhere. Difficult. Okay, once you have your foam tape off, then this is where you want to take your paper that's going to go behind. You're going to flip it over, and this is where you need to decide if you're going to line it up straight. This one I wanted to do it a little bit skewed, so I'm going to turn it a little bit. You kind of need to get your head down so that you can see underneath where you're going, because it's kind of a surprise when it comes up. Okay, so then you want to push very tight and make sure that your foam tape is all attached. And that did not go very skewed. But there it is. So then this one, I'm going to put some glue. I didn't want to glue it down to the card first because I didn't want to get it upside down or backwards or anything. And this one I left a nice big frame, so it's easier for me to get it glued down. Messy. So there's my shaker. And then I have my little girl. I'm going to use my thinner foam tape to pop her up. And then I also cut out this, another one of these little yellow bicycle dies in the gold glitter paper with love. So I'm going to decide what else I want to do to that card, and I will decorate it up and bring it back to show you guys later. I do have one more shaker to show you. I kind of came up with this when I was getting my supplies ready. And I had picked up these hearts yesterday at Joann's. So these are the felt ones. Some of them are die cut, and then some of them are solid and super cute. But I also got these ones that are foam. So there's some that are sparkly and some that are not. And the heart comes off of them. And they fit beautifully with a little bit of edge sticking out on these felt ones. So I decided to make a shaker out of one of them. So I'm using the white one as the background. I have the red heart. I've already attached the acetate to it. So basically just cut out a shape and glued it down with my glossy accents. You can see I got a little messy, but that can be covered up with other things. So then you need to do the foam tape around the edge. Okay, so all my spaces are filled in there. And this one, I'm going to do these big silver and red ones. And then some of these heart shapes. And because all of these are lightweight, I want to put some beads in to help move it around. So then I'm going to take the foam tape off. Sorry, the backing off. Okay, and then this one is going to be a little bit harder to center, so bear with me here. I'm a little off. There we go, a little shaker to add to a card. All right, so get all your supplies out and make some shaker cards. Leave a comment, subscribe if you wish, and have a great day. Thanks, bye.